educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. Going to do a little bit different today. We're going to take a look at the eyes of the Canadian dollar versus the U.S. dollar. This is from Jim Bartolioni. He happens to be one of the 4 Top Gun pilots that I've been fortunate to train. I met them all through an old family contact, I guess, more or less. But anyway, I've been with them for 30 years. Bucky, Bart, Brewster, and Bullseye. Those were the 4 handles. When I get back, I will share some pictures with you I have on my wall of the F-16s. Hello, try it again, Larry. F-18s, and you will you'll get a big kick out of it. But anyway, Jim's specialty is long-term stuff. I think he trades about 7 times a year, maybe. Yeah, probably once a month, but he's really has an eye on this Canadian dollar here, folks. This goes back over 40 years. And we're at a major area of support. You can see the ABCD pattern has just completed here. This is really serious stuff here, so we need to focus on it. So what I was going to do is to break it down the way we try to look at these things. So the first thing I want to look at is the Canadian dollar on a weekly chart so that I can see it just a little clearer. And as we get this chart up, I'm doing this once because I have people that ask me at 24/7 how I arrive at some of these trades that I put on. Well, this is the methodology that I go through. I go over this weekly. I don't look at weeklies very often, but because Jim was looking at them, I think it's worth looking at them. You'll see the ABCD pattern we had up there at the top. In that Canadian dollar. Okay, that was in 2020. Now we've come down. You can see we've actually made a double top up there, and now we're down near the area of a potential double bottom. That's on the weekly. So step 2 is what you want to do is to go down and go into a daily chart, and you'll be able to get this up here. And I think we showed just the other day too, but I wanted to go through it a little bit in more context today. You'll see the big ABCD pattern that just completed down here at point D. Now, that we've been here 2 weeks, folks, and this market has not made new lows. That's a very good sign. So we've completed some of these patterns, and it looks like, and I say with a little bit of hesitation, it looks like this has a chance. Now, the secret is entering, and that's the the main thing that we try to do. Now, if you go down to a 60-minute chart here on the Canadian dollar, you'll see. Thank you, Jimmy. Good to be back. I wasn't really gone anywhere. I was just in a place where I couldn't get any internet. Hold on just a second. You'll see here that that 61% retracement has held really well for a couple times. So the risk on this is very, very small. You're risking less than $200 in this Canadian. And that you might have to try it 2 or 3 times, before you get it right. That's the main thing that we've got to remind ourselves. David Paul will be our guest today, and don't be missing Tuesday, folks. We got none other than Charles Bronson himself. Tom Hugard, Trader Tom, is going to join us at 12:30 on Tuesday. So he's mending. He tore a ligament while he was jogging up Mount Everest or wherever he goes to do all that, to grab that wheatgrass that he eats. But he has a really bad sprain, so he's not going to be doing any jogging for a while. All right, let's take a look at a couple of these charts that look interesting here. They all look interesting, some more than others. A lot of completed patterns, folks. Remember, this is a Friday in an up week, and it's a day before a holiday. Very, very difficult for the market to close lower today. But you can see the patterns that we have. On the left-hand side is the NASDAQ. On the right-hand side, we're looking at the Russell. The Russell is the weaker of the two. So if you want to pick something to sell, pick the weaker, pick the Russell. That's what you'd want to be looking at. What I was looking at for today, let's get this up here. So I'll do the E-mini, but here's what I was looking at. Let me get this up here so we can see this. I thought for sure shut the front door and raise the rent here. Let's get this up here. There we go. I think we still got a chance to hit this 42.20, and we'll probably hit it right on the close would be my guess. But that's what I'm looking for, is to see if it's going to be, see if it's going to get that. Now, of all the holidays that we have, the day before the Memorial Day is the weakest of all. In other words, it doesn't have the same power that some of the others, like the day after Christmas, the day after Thanksgiving, the 4th of July. Those are a little bit harder to understand. Now, one of the things that happened here recently, and I think it's important, is we had a big breakout here. If you'll notice here, this is the 4-hour chart for the crude oil. As you can see, we broke we hit those tops 3 times. The 4th time we broke above it. And folks, this is why I don't buy breakouts. And when I do my next day trading conference, where we do live trading, I'm going to show you why you don't do that. And I have a lot of good reasons for it, and they've kept me off of the proverbial chopping block enough, so I want to watch that. Now, if you remember, we have been very, very bearish. The euro, of course, and now if you look see what the euro did today, we made a perfect ABCD. The 61% rate of retracement came in exactly at 1.2138. We've been all the way up to almost 1.2. We rallied about 70 points just straight up. So that is a pretty substantial bottom when you have that ABCD that had to be at the 382, and then you make the 61% retracement. So we'll be watching that over the weekend to see what these are going. We're going to have great volatility, folks. Some of the things we're going to be seeing here are going to shock people who have been around for a long time, including myself. And this will be fun to see them. We'll see them unfold. Now, one of the markets that is not, let's just get this. Somebody's asked a question about copper, as we posted this the other day here. We were looking for copper to get up there to the 465 level. I think we got to 467, and then we sold off quite a bit. So we'll see how that's going to work out. And also the other one is the gold market. You know, we've been looking for a potential top in the gold, and we made our first profit objective today in the gold. That is, we made a beautiful ABCD. We almost made a perfect 50% retracement. We made a 61% retracement off the low of the 25th. I didn't draw that in because it would be a little too girdy, but we went all the way up to the 78% level, folks, at 1902. We're trading $5 or $6 under that right now, but this is still a possibility that gold could maybe make a new high. So the way you handle that is you have to have your stop now at what we think is the break even in that August gold, which is at 1911. That's where the 78% level came in on the long-term daily. So that's the one that we're paying very, very close attention to. Okay, now I had another story. Someone's asked me about my family background. My parents were born in little towns of Italy, Louisiana, and Asiago. Asiago, the cheese place, and that they're about. I'll cover that because it's related to the Navy guys. I'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, give you a little family background. My mother was an only child. My grandfather's name was Lorenzo. And her Forte was the other part. And if you remember, I've told you several times that Fabian Forte is my third cousin. His grandmother and my grandmother were cousins or whatever they were. We're related some distances. But let's move on to something else. My father had, there were 9 in the family. Her grandmother lost one when the baby was a year old, and she told me she never had a day go by where she didn't think of that child. So let's go in. She had 4 brothers. He had 3 brothers and 4 sisters. There was a total of 8 of them. And his youngest brother was John. And he was the first one to go to college in World War II. He went to Annapolis, a Naval Academy, at the age of 18. He graduated in 1947. He was unique because he was in the same class and was a roommate to the gentleman who has won 2 Navy Crosses. And I don't think that's been done more than once or twice in naval history. And one of the things that when you go to Annapolis, they have a lot of camaraderie and stuff. And he was there. He was a Navy commander for 20 years. He retired. And if you belong to that organization in the Navy and you want to get married in the Naval Chapel with the swords and all that stuff, it's available to people. And we had a cousin do that 25 years ago. And on that trip, that's where I met Bart. And then from Bart, I met John and all the other 4 guys. And that's how I got to know these. But my uncle, when he graduated and finished his retirement, he went to work for Studebaker. And this is the funny part of it. He worked there for 4 years, from 65 through 69, working on the Golden Hawk. But here's where it gets interesting. He and his Aunt Dorothy, and Aunt Dorothy was from Terre Haute, and she was autistic, just a sweetheart of a lady. But what happened was they built a little house in Niles, Michigan. And it was a little 1-bedroom house, concrete block. It didn't have heat. He used a giant fireplace, and he chopped all his wood. And they did that. They lived there for 50 years, this little tiny house. And I was there once. I couldn't believe it. And what he did was when he quit his job at Studebaker, he wanted to follow his dream. And if you folks are sitting down, you're not going to believe what he really wanted to do. He wanted to be a postman. So he spent the next 15 years walking in the snow, and that's what he loved to do. He had an IQ way up there, all kinds of degrees, engineering, whatever, but he wanted to be a postman, and he did really good. Well, one day, about 15 years old, 20 years later, Uncle Johnny passed away. And I get a phone call from Niles, Michigan, from the little bank there, and my Aunt Dorothy's sitting there, and she says, I need some help. And I says, what do you mean? And she said, this gentleman subscribes to your newsletter, and he will tell you what to do. And so I said, okay, Aunt Dorothy. I said, what's going on? He said, let you talk to the banker. So here's my Uncle Johnny. Never had any children, just he and Dorothy, all right? And what do you think that little estate was? He had one hobby, folks. He loved to invest in stocks and read the Wall Street Journal. Well, folks, there was $4.7 million in that account. They never traveled, they never spent anything, they never did anything. And what Uncle Johnny and Aunt Dorothy wanted to do was to give the money to the 37 cousins of both families that had it. They stretched it out so the people with the least would get the most. But the average payout, my sister and I got virtually nothing, which was okay, mainly because my sister doesn't like me. No, I don't think that was it. But anyway, some people that had absolutely nothing got $200,000, and other people, it was just amazing what he did for everybody in the family. There were, I think, 44 people in the will. I did get a nice donation, and I used it for my favorite charity, the Church of the Slow Running Ponies. And unfortunately, the donation went rather rapidly, but it was a few $1,000s. But the point was, he did remember everybody. But think how he accumulated it. Mainly it was oil stocks, folks. That's how he made most of his money. So anyway, that's the story of the old Pesavento clan. So let's move on here to talk about charts. That's about all we got. Nobody ever calls in anymore. 877-927-6648. And here we're going to feature the most mysterious stock of you're right, Mr. Bill, I'm a cardinal in the church of that slow running ponies. Yeah. Well, that's the way they go sometimes. Anyway, you can see here, we're even down again today, folks. Something's wrong with Apple. I don't know what it is, but it's just really hard to realize, we're up here in new highs and all these things, and Apple should be, running up there, but evidently it's got to do with something up, what's going on in that area. Yes, Chapman, he was one of the people that worked on the Golden Hawk, and his car, he had an F-150 Ford, and it was 38 years old. They never spent any money. You wouldn't believe what they ate almost every day. They grew they only red vegetables, but my Uncle John, he loved boiled potatoes with butter and parsley. And he ate that almost every day. Cereal every morning. Just a very, very sparse lifestyle, but that's what he wanted to do. He was always very quiet. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Okay, let's move on back to the old palm here. I talked about the copper. I've talked about the apple. I wanted to talk here about hogs because there's someone asked a question about limit moves in the commodities. Let me get this up here so we can take a quick look at it. If you'll look here, back on the 21st of May, you'll see the market went up and went limit up. That's where there's little dots or nothing going on there. Then after it opened, folks, look, it opened down the next day, which had happened, that was over a weekend. And then the market started to go up. You'll notice it made the big ABCD. And the reason why I'm showing you this, because the ABCDs are working on the 5-minute just like they work on anything else. But when you see limit up like that, and this doesn't happen very often, they've expanded the limits on all these things so that you don't want to get caught in limit moves. It used to be years ago, you could be caught on a 4 or 5 limit day move and you wouldn't be able to get out of it. But now they expand the limits to make it easy to get out. Maybe not the price you want, but at least it's something that you have going on at that point. So let's remind ourselves that these patterns, they're not perfect. They're predictive within reason, but they're certainly not. The one that has mostly confused me is Apple, because it is acting so poorly compared to the rest of the market. I don't listen to any news, so I don't know anything about the news. But that's some of the things that go through my mind is I wonder what's causing it. And And I don't want to know the news because that will just, I know they got some kind of meeting or something come up. I saw on Bloomberg here the other day that it was going on with that. We're going to have David Paul from VectorVest is going to be our guest. Tuesday, we got Tommy Terrific. Tom Hugard will be our guest at 12:30 on Tuesday. And of course, Monday is the Memorial Day holiday. We always remember our veterans, and that's the main thing to keep in mind. Also, keep in mind, folks, that we do have a situation next week on I can't remember the date. I'm going to have somebody special on, a new guest. Better keep quiet till it's for sure, but we'll get him on for sure. I think you'll really enjoy him. He's quite famous. 877-927-6648. Stay tuned for David Paul.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den trading room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I believe we have David Paul in the house. David, are you there?
Yes, Larry, I'm here, sir. How are you? You well?
I'm very good. I'm very good. David, I have a request. Someone's asked, can you tell us what is the cost structure for VectorVest? I don't know anything about it. Could you tell the folks what's involved with the...
Well, yeah, it's the VectorVest world, Larry, is the US, UK, the whole of Europe, Canada, of course, and Australia. And there's a trial for that at vectorvest.com. It's $9.95 to try it for 30 days. And then after the 30 days, it's about $60 a month. It's £49 a month here in the UK if you're UK domiciled. So you can try it for at $10, see if it's for you. I've been with VectorVest now for 11 years, and in South Africa, in the UK, we've never had a problem with a credit card or anything like that. If you want to stop it, you just give us a call and it stops straight away. Here in the UK, we're actually the only software provider, an education provider that's actually authorized by the regulator, the FCA, and I am, for my sins, the compliance officer. For my sins, I don't think there was anybody else for it, but yes, I've spent half my life trying to duck the compliance officers, and now I am one, So, it's a stamp for us. Anybody can try it and feel safe that there's nobody going to hide their credit card or steal their details or anything like that.
We've got a caller asking a question about gold. I'll let you know what the question is in just a second. They're going to post it for me here, David, and you can give them an idea of what. Now, you don't do anything fundamentals other than just look at the VectorVest program, and it's all technical related, correct? It's Al from Houston, and the question is it's coming. There's a drum roll. Can you hear the drum roll faintly in the background? Yeah, sure. Hey, have you heard how Tom is feeling? I heard he had a pretty bad injury from running, that he tore a tendon or something, ligament.
Yeah, he pushes himself too hard at times. Yeah. So, and he's no spring chicken anymore. Although he gets very upset with me when I remind him about that.
Yeah, I reminded him. I said, "Welcome to middle age." Okay, hey, Al's on the phone right now. Al, we've got David Paul for you. Just go right ahead, ask David. He'll be happy to answer it if he can.
Howdy, how you guys doing? Good to hear from you. I've been following Larry, Bill, some other chartists, and one of the questions that I have is that where is gold going? Right now it seems to be just on hold, and one of the followers that I subscribe to indicates that it can still go down to gold can go lower into August, but with so much stimulus being pumped into the market, there's that fear of inflation, and it seems to be like there's a battle between the Fed and the market forces, if it's going up or down. So I'm just trying to figure out a good determination of where we're going from here, either to continue going long or short.
You got an opinion, David?
Well, first of all, the market may go up or down, but not necessarily in that order. The damn thing can do what it wants. And out of all of this, sir, you need to sit down with Larry or whoever and hammer out some form of edge in the market. My edge is pretty technical, although in the stock market I put together the technical position and the fundamental position of a company before making a decision. But I think that you need to hammer out some form of trading methodology that you have faith in. Otherwise, that type of thinking is going to drive you to drink, sir.
Well, I already drank, and I'll be forthcoming. Last year, I made $1.4 million in 5 months, based on following my own technical analysis and also what others see, and I put them all together and come with the conclusion. And from what I'm seeing from many investors, some are saying it's going to go down. It's still bearish, and others are saying that it's going to just blow up, go up. So, but I try to get as much information from everybody that I can to make my own decision. But since I figured maybe give a call and find out what other folks' opinions are.
Well, you've basically answered your own questions, sir. You take all that information and you make the decision because you're the ones responsible for it.
And just remember, the decision. Nobody knows what's going to happen next, and what we're trying to do in certainly my trading business is to try and be able to generate a low risk entry point where I can, in fact, with a reasonable regularity, risk $1 to make $5 or $6. So I'm always looking for low cost opportunities to do that. So my own methodology is all about trying to find a trend and then looking to buy a pullback on that trend. And I wish I could tell you it was something very complicated. It's not. I look for a pullback to a last old high. Invariably, there's a fib level at the same place. And with any luck, there's a nice long-term trend line in the same place. And where they all come together, X marks the spot. Certainly, the pattern that's made me most money in markets has been the Gartley pattern, where I've got a strong trend and I've got a 3-leg back. That pattern allows me to take a position either at the level, if I'm feeling brave, or after, let's say, one day's confirmation where I have 2 or 3 bar chart patterns that have stood me in good stead. Next October, it'll be 40 years since I put on my first trade. And I've been pretty much doing the same thing for the last 30 of those 40 years. So for me, the key is to try an engineer, to finesse, whatever word you want to use, a very low risk opportunity where I can make much more when I'm right than I am when I'm wrong. And I do my best to try and avoid a great deal of the ifs and buts and maybe and whatever. So if I'm wrong, I lose a little bit. No big deal. Okay. I haven't answered that very well, sir, but that's... No,
you did very well. I appreciate it very much.
I bet. We'll be right back with Take a Call, folks. Thank you for calling in out.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A share bull and bear ETFs. China A shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Okay, we're back. We're talking with David Paul with VectorVest. David, I don't think the question that these gentleman's asking is proprietary. When you start to look at trend, what is the tool that you use to look at trend? Is it a moving average? Is it a trend line? How do you define the trend?
Well, Larry, three moving averages work well. I don't have to put them on the screen anymore because I know where the darn things are. I've been looking at them so long. So people and the VectorVest subscribers keep telling me, where's the moving averages? And I keep telling them I can see them. But 21E, 55E, and 89 simple period moving average. And those came out of history. And when the 21 crosses up through the 55 and they both cross through the 89, an old fellow that I used to know on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange told me that that's called a bow tie. And when you get one of those bow ties, that's a very strong trend change. And for example, I've taken a swing trade in AIG in the last day or two, and it's been trending strongly. The 21's above the 55, it's above the 89, and the market has pulled back in a Wyckoff spring pattern, which is as near as damn it, pretty much like the Gartley pattern. There's a lot of similarities. It's a three-wave pullback. And I found over the years that the area between the 21 and the 55 is a very potent area of support. Moving average is a little bit of a con because many people say that the price bounced off the 50 moving average, but the reality of the situation is that the price didn't go to the market. The market went to the average, because that's what averages do. So when you hear people talking about price bumped off the 50 period moving average, that's in fact a little bit of a con. But the 21 and the 55 and the 89 measure a trend very nicely indeed. So if there was a weekly trend in the market defined by those moving averages, and then a nice three-wave Gartley pattern or Wyckoff spring on the daily chart, and that will allow me to engineer a low-risk setup where, as I say, I'm not trying to prove myself right, but what I want to try and do is to risk a pound to make £5 and keep doing that over and over and over again. When it pulls back to the level and it charts, I like outside days. That's my favorite pattern. But for example, there's another little swing trade that I've taken today. It hasn't gone anywhere yet. I took it this week in a share called Apps, which has got great fundamentals on VectorVest, and it's pulled back to a textbook Gartley pattern at the 62% retracement, and it charted what I call a multiple inside day, where it in fact sat on the 62 and was inside for about 5 days, and it broke out yesterday. That's a reliable pattern. The old hammer is a good reliable pattern, especially if you see, and all of these patterns are in fact much, much better if you see what Mr. Wyckoff called stopping volume, which is a huge volume going in as it reverses. And sometimes you've actually got to look at the intraday data to actually see the reversal, to see when the volume is coming in during the day. But the focus on everything that I'm trying to do is to finesse a low-risk opportunity. And I get in with my base position, and as the darn thing moves my way, I do my best to add to that position when I'm at my strongest. I wish I could say that I did that scientifically. I normally do it fairly agriculturally, to tell you the truth. But when I've made as much as I've risked, and I can safely say, this is really important to me, when I can safely get my stop loss to entry, then I want to try and add. And the key to me is being able to add and pull your stop loss up safely to the next level. And that means that the risk on the first tranche of shares is in fact the maximum risk. So in theory anyway, and sometimes you get gaps, I know, but in theory, the profit that you make on the first tranche, in fact, finances the risk on the second tranche. That's the theory, and when it works, it's really, really great. Sometimes, especially in tech stocks, you get a bad news break and you get a good old-fashioned smack. What can you do? Last year was abnormal. Last year, they just kept on going, and I think that certainly spoiled me a little bit. Because this year they didn't keep on going, and we moved back into a more normal situation where there's an awful lot. As they broke, they came back and tested stops 3 or 4 times before the darn things moved again. On that Apps, for example, APPS, a great stock. Fundamentals are awesome on VectorVest. It's growing earnings strongly. I got stopped. This is the third time lucky, in fact. I had some slides prepared, but it's third time lucky. I got stopped out twice. First time I got stopped out at entry. Second time I got stopped out at a loss. Now I'm going for the third time. But they were both very, very small losses. There's no big deal at all. My starting position, and I'm old and conservative, I know, is about 0.5%. So I risk about 0.5% on my equity on the first starter position. And then I add to that position. I don't know, the old adage is there's old traders and there's bold traders, but there's no old bold traders. I know that's
it's absolutely for sure. Oh my goodness.
So risk management is the key to the exercise. It's boring. When I speak about it at a seminar, you can see people just their eyes glossing over in the front row.
That's, boys and girls, I've been there. I've seen it. That's all baloney. He keeps them in the palm of his hand. So don't give me that stuff, Baba. I've watched you. I've worked with you too many times to see that. No, you're very entertaining, and you might be a little too much humility on your side, but no, you do a great job. That's why they ask you to come on here all the time. So it's really important. Well, we want to.
But don't make it too difficult to anybody listening, folks. You don't know what's going to happen next. Nobody's a clue what's going to happen next in this environment. The market's up at, if the valuations in the US were any higher, they would have a nosebleed. So, but it's going, and it's doing its best to break that. The whole week, I'm sure you've seen the Gartley on the 4-hour chart on the S&P at 4,200 odd, and it's been fighting all week. We'll see what happens, but one thing I'm sure of is that when it breaks that 4,200 odd level, one way or the other, it's actually going to move. And move very strongly indeed. So, and yours truly intends to be on the move. So,
well, David, thank you for joining us, buddy. We'll have you on again soon, and be safe, my friend.
And you too, Larry. Take care of yourself.
Okay, you bet. David Paul, folks. We'll be right back.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, just $89, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. This is Steve Rhodes. Stay tuned for another great hour of the Trader's Edge, heard here at TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, I'm going to take a little special reminder here. We're going to walk down memory lane since we were talking with David about AIG. Folks, I put up this weekly chart here. This is a very important chart in my life because on this particular day, I was flying from Hong Kong to Narita. I'd been in China for the last time. It was October of 2006, and I was flying from Hong Kong to Narita, and in front of me was a young lady, quite attractive. And I said, maybe I'll make a couple of quick Italian moves on her. And so we were getting ready to leave, and I asked her, I said, would you like to go to the lounge? She was flying on to Toronto, and I was going on to Los Angeles. So we went to the lounge, and I was really trying to do the old Italian shuffle on her. It wasn't working too well, so we started talking about stocks. and I pulled up this chart. She worked for AIG, and I looked at this chart, and you can see where we were there, folks, at roughly $1,500. Well, I told her, I said, I wouldn't own this stock if you let me have it for free. And the stock, she sold it within the actual price she sold it was 72 3/4. And the stock went to 38 cents. And that's what got her interested in me, by golly. I guess it wasn't the good looks after all, which you don't have any of those. But anyway, that's what happened. And someday, if you don't believe me, I'll get the little princess on the line here and she'll tell you the story. But that's what happened. Anyway, by the time she got to Toronto, after I had left in Chicago, I had sent her about a half a dozen charts and emails and stuff like that. And her sister in Toronto said, honey, you are being stalked. And she asked me, are you stalking me? And I said, absolutely, 100%, no question about it. Anyway, that's what's going on. Boys and girls, do some good for your friends today, tomorrow, the weekend. You know, a lot of people haven't got diddly squat. We got a little more than anybody else, so try to do a little bit for the folks if you can. And live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless. And don't forget, we've got Tom Hugard coming in on Tuesday on the Fast Track.